Hey everybody! You can obviously tell that this video is a little different than my usual videos, seeing that there's no background behind me and that's about it. Today is the first video of my cosplay series. I am creating a cosplay of Lara Croft from the video game Rise of the Tomb Raider. I've been starting to get more pieces for this cosplay. If you follow me on social media, primarily Instagram, you probably have seen that I've started working on the pickaxe already. All the pieces I get, like the jacket, pants, the boots, the belts, everything. I'm going to be doing something to it to make it look more weathered and distressed and aged. I don't want to just get all the pieces to just wear her outfit. I want to make this cosplay look as realistic as I can. It is my first attempt at a real cosplay, I guess. So I'm really going all out and trying to do my best. Today's video, I'm going to be showing you how I aged and distressed a pair of boots. Basically, I just got a pair of some mid-calf leather boots from Amazon. They're like 20 something bucks. They don't want them to cost too much because I'm just gonna be destroying them. So I did a few different things to the boots to add faded spots, some scuffs and scratches. Basically, a few different things in an attempt to make it look like they have been hiked through the mountains and climbing cliffs and all that fun stuff. I actually didn't end up doing a ton of distress, but I am very happy with how they turned out. I think it's just the right amount of scuffs and fading to make them look decently aged. I also think I'll be able to use these again for another cosplay I have in mind. That won't be for a while, but I have already started brainstorming some other things I want to cosplay as. I actually plan on getting a lot more into this. Yeah, I'm gonna stop talking, switch it over to the feed and show you a better close-up of each step that I did on the boots and kind of talk through it a little bit. Yeah, enough talking. Let's check it out. So the first thing I did was use some pure acetone to wipe on the leather. I used the tongue of the boot to get a little test sample to see exactly how that faded. And I was wiping a few times because I was trying to see exactly how light it would fade. Pretty much just got to that tan color like you see on the inside of the lip there. Then I went over with some sandpaper just to again kind of test to see how extra coarse sandpaper worked on the boot or how it worked on the leather. I wanted to see what kind of scratches it would make on it. The first part of the boot I chose to fade was the toes. Just like with, I guess, real boots, when you wear them a lot, the toes get faded because that's the front of your foot, and I feel like the heel and the foot have the most wear and tear, so I pretty much faded the toes as light as they would go without making it look too rubbery. I noticed with this leather, if I rubbed too much of the acetone on it in one spot, it would get kind of rubbery in texture, and also by looking at it, it didn't look that natural. The next thing I did was rub acetone in all the little shoelace holes. Basically, I just started going over every spot that I think would naturally get a lot of wear in it. I figured if you're tying up your laces a lot, that would probably wear it out over time. So, yeah. I also wanted to fade all the seams and anything that has texture on the boot that would get worn down. So anything that was sticking out, I wiped it down with acetone to get that faded look. So once I got all the main parts, like the toes, the heels, the big seams, all the shoelace holes, all those main areas, I went around and I got like every little seam, so like all the edges. I went around and I tried to like kind of, I guess, push on the boot and like find where like natural creases happened, and I like would rub over like the creases so it looks like the boot was like getting worn into like the natural wrinkle areas. Rubbing everything down with the acetone is what took the longest probably. I was also being kind of picky about it because I was trying to add as much detail as I could. It's hard to see from this angle, but the acetone really did make a big difference. I didn't get a picture of beforehand, which I really should have, but they were, yeah, pretty much all just like that kind of darker brown color. Wiped off really easily, so it wasn't hard to like go in and just add like really little spots of the acetone to like, you know, make those little lines and creases. But yeah, my focus was try to get all the seams, all the little edges, and then find those little like nooks and crannies that would get like natural wear, because like I said, this stuff did wipe the color off really easily, so I didn't want to like just haphazardly start wiping lines on the boots because that would start to look unnatural. So I was really trying to find like the natural grooves of the boots. But yeah, all the acetone and wiping off a lot of the darkness really helped to instantly give it a lot of that aged look. So the next main thing was sanding, like I said, with the acetone, and I pretty much faded the whole toe and heel of the boot. I did a lot of sanding on the toe and the heel. The sandpaper really it roughed up the boots, but unless I really concentrated on the area, I had to purposefully press into an area to get some good scuffs. Another thing I did was I scratched up the buckles and zippers as much as I could, because those were just painted over like a smooth brown,
and that wasn't gonna work, so I scratched those up real good. Then I went around and I sanded up the sides of the sole as much as I could to make those look like, not just like a flat, clean black sole. I feel like you didn't notice the sandpaper as much on the sole as you did the rest of the boot. But yeah, kind of like with the acetone, I went around in like all the little edges and basically anything that was sticking out. I wanted it to make like the edges as rough as I could. I also went over and sanded the top of the shoelaces because the shoelaces, like brand new, looked really smooth. They didn't have a plastic coating on them, but it was definitely had a little bit of shine to them. So I just went over and sanded those, and they instantly got like a nice rough, frazzled look to them. Once I got all like the edges and the main spots I really wanted to look rough, I actually just took the sandpaper and did a quick once over of like the whole boot, because these were not super shiny, but they're fairly like kind of shiny gloss. I wanted to get as much of the shine of the boot gone as I could. So the last thing I did was actually take a knife and try to get some like really good scratches and like gashes in the boots. The knife I was using was just a little box cutter, and it was not as sharp as I thought it was gonna be. So it took a bit of work to get some good cuts in. I actually had to like kind of dig into the boots. I couldn't just like slash across. As you'll notice, I get creative later on and just really dig into them. But after I felt like I got some good like cuts and like scrapes in it, I'd go back over with the sandpaper to get those like loose pieces off, and it just kind of like evened it out, but also like exposed the cuts a lot better. And I didn't go crazy with that. That was just to help make some of the like scuffed up areas stand out a little more, like the toes and the heels. I added a few extra spots on the sides, just because these boots, I did want them to look like they've been through quite the adventure. But like I said, I may use these in the future. I didn't want them to be completely destroyed, and her boots don't have holes in them or anything, so I cut up a few extra spots just so it wasn't all flat brown, and yeah, just roughed them up real good.
Alright, so I'm about to show you a close-up of the finished product so you can see the details a little better. It's kind of hard to see on that camera angle. Like I said earlier, I'm really happy with how these turned out. I keep looking at the floor because they're down here on the floor. You can't tell that. I also had a lot of fun doing this. I was a little nervous at first just because I haven't done anything like this before, like with the acetone and, you know, the sanding and stuff. I wasn't sure exactly like if it was going to work the way I pictured in my mind, but it really did. I mean, a little different effect than I kind of thought it might be, but I mean, these obviously aren't real leather boots. So working with this like pleather or fake leather, whatever this stuff is, it fades a little differently, and I noticed that if I sanded or like cut too deep, the undertone or like the under fabric of it is kind of like pinkish. So I tried not to get too crazy and go too deep with it because I just wanted that like light tan scratching and whatnot. I am happy with how it turned out. I think it looks pretty good. Before I show you the close-up, I want to say thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, I have several more videos coming up of each piece of my cosplay and how I'm going to add details and aging to all of them. Yeah, and then end of March will be the finished product and the whole look when I go to C2E2 in Chicago and wear it in public. And yeah, I'm really excited. You can follow me on all social media at its_justcaitlin, or on Facebook as It's Just Caitlin. If you want updates about what I'm doing and sneak peeks of the things I'm going to be working on, you'll definitely want to check those out. Yeah, and for now, thanks again for watching, and here's my boots.